This is another event that happened in Augusta, Georgia. I came across a black man downtown Augusta, Georgia. Um, I think this person has some type of electronic device, and I can hear the voices go emanating from this person. Whatever that person was carrying, that happened. I think early this year. I think probably January. It had to be January, but I heard the voice of skull, and I could tell that that person was carrying something based upon how odd that person was acting, and that was a gang stalker. I remember he made a couple of assaults and stuff. Um, Gang stalkers do uh have carry these portable electronic devices and stuff. I'm not really sure if they have something like a phone or something like that that they download certain apps or something like that to to use to gang stalk people, or I'm not really sure if they have some type of special app or program or something like that that is given by the CIA for them to download things up on the phone so they can use it to gang stalk people. I'm not really sure about that yet. Um, but whatever that person had is emitting radio frequency waves, auditorial sounds from whatever that electronic device. Also reminds me of a white woman with I think that's a phone in her hands, because I did see the light that was coming up out of that device that was up over there across the street, Holy Roman Catholic Church, Telfair Street. I also experienced a whole bunch of other weird stuff like Lake Olmsted. I heard voices go. Apparently, I know that it was a white dude though who was using an electronic device, and it emits auditorial radio frequency waves, and he was using that to uh, you know to accuse me of things that I have not done, and he was just trying to manipulate me. I know that the gang stalkers in Augusta, Georgia, are trying to manipulate me to become something that I don't want to become, and I never will become whatever they're trying to make me become. I did not like what Neil Powers. I do believe that Neil Powers is a disinformation artist, um, and I think he's gone around spreading lies. And now I believe the other target individuals, what they have said about Neil Powers. Um, and I remember he accused me of, or he, gave his opinion of whatever he was, whatever he was trying to say. And he said something about that he believed that the electronic suit that the Japanese person was wearing, that turns the Japanese soldier invisible, he believed that that was fake and it's all some type of spiritual warfare. When I know they have very advanced electronic technologies, and I'm not new at this at all. I have been researching about electronic technology for years, ever since 2012. Okay, and even way back then, further than that, I have seen. I don't know if it was Discovery Channel, History Channel, and they have said that they have produced, or they're working on producing, these type of electronic technologies, like something like what I used to see, um, which is it seems like some type of cyborg ninja suit, but the American people have produced that suit. I mean that suit look. I ain't gonna lie, that it looked cool to me. It looked real nice, real clean. I remember this all black with a little bit gold and I think it was some gray or something like that. And they designed it in a particular way, but it's a prototype. I think they said they was gonna use it for war purposes. So I know they have those type of electronic technologies. They also have man-made UFOs, which is produced by American people. TR3B research that, type that up on the internet and on YouTube, it'll pop up. It's a triangular craft that is made by American people. It is designed and modeled after actual UFO um, aliens who drive or fly in those crafts and stuff, and they modeled it after that because there was one particular YouTube video that I used to see that operates strange and it does things that a normal TR3B does not does, and then they use that to they're going to use that to stage something in the future. I would love to tell you, but I rather for you to hear from the prophecy from a true Christian individual. That person is telling a lot of truth, and even the FBI. I mean, not the FBI, the CIA individuals admitted this, and certain people working in those professional fields admitted that they have those type of electronic technologies that they have worked on and produced. The same thing with the honeyboo. They actually that is really is man-made. The honeyboo is a flying saucer like type of technology, and then they say how the way they produce it, but one of the things that they have discussed is that it projects some type of energy, an anti-gravity energy or something like that that causes the craft to float. Okay, but I believe that they was lying about that. I think they have fully produced those type of crafts that can fly, because when it come down to my childhood, I seen some very strange things, but I'd rather not talk about it. Nobody ain't gonna believe it. There's no point. There's no point to even talk about most of the things that I personally have experienced, personally, because nobody ain't gonna believe it. But I do know that they have those type of things out there. So, same thing with the Photoshop technologies. They can even produce a image in a person's head by manipulating the conscious and the brain of the person to produce a type of like a Photoshop like type of reality image, and then even the hallucination is artificial and it is electronically done, and then they can materialize images, even motion picture images like a video into people's head and see them get them to see things that does not exist, that's not even there, and they force those people to hallucinate. It's not because the person's brain is producing images that cause the person to hallucinate. It is because somebody is experimenting upon those people and forcing them to hallucinate. They manipulate the person to get tired. They manipulate them to have artificial headaches. They manipulate them having pain sensations, making them horny, make them want to have sex. I think that probably even some of the rapists, not all of them, not even most of them. I believe some of the rapists are could be even be target individuals who they experiment upon these people like some type of like a sex ape and have them rape people on purpose. You know what I mean? And then use them as a type like a money like type of machine to continue to make money off of those individuals, and but that's just my theory about it. But the fact is that they do make induce people to have orgasms, remote orgasms, and to make them horny. You know, it got me thinking about the persistent sexual arousal syndrome. I'm not really sure if that's um, biochemical, or I'm not really sure if that's electronically um, induced upon the individual to have a persistent arousal sexual syndrome. And then the brain itself already produces um, uh, neurological radio, you know, energies and stuff like that that it produces already enough to power a light bulb, and they manipulate that, and then the brain controls the rest of the part of the body. So of course they would do that to control the whole totality of people's bodies and experiment upon those people, and they force those people to do things that they really don't want to do, but they manipulate the body, you see. And who knows what else they should be doing to those individuals, but they doing some very sick, twisted like type of things to those individuals, and then they have to deal with voice to skull, some of those individuals, but um, they're very evil. They're very evil, and I believe every last one of those individuals who do that to people, every last one of them deserve the death penalty. No long-term sentence them into prison. No, just sentence them to death, and then send them off to hell, because nobody don't want to be anybody's play puppet toy. Okay. And let those same individuals go through that type of thing and see how they like it. You see what I'm saying? You know, and I don't think they'll never get it, because they they just it's one thing when they do it to another person, but when it happens to them, then that's when they get offended, and then that's when they get all up in themselves, and then they get they start to react the same way that those individuals they experiment upon, and you have the same reaction or a similar reaction, probably even worse. You know, um, there's certain people in Augusta, Georgia, that I have seen up over there at Lake Umstead. I believe some of them try to sexually. Yes, some of them are gang stalkers. Try to sexually entice me to to um to have sex with them, I believe, or something like that. That even happened within my own family. That did not make any sense. Yes, my family is gang stalkers. I believe the majority of them, or probably all of them, are gang stalkers. Because, or probably have been manipulated by gang stalkers. For some reason, they have been very strange, and then that happened for quite some time. Ever since Apple Valley, they're not my family anymore. I denounce them. I disown them, and I stay away from them like the plague they are. And I just keep to myself is what I meant to say. I keep to myself, and and I just use my family, just cause they sit up there and use me and stuff like that, and I just use them back. But I really don't love them like that, the same way that I used to. And the worstest thing is to have a family member to do that to a person, and to break a person down up on a whole nother level, and I do not respect people that's like that, and have to set those people who are being bullied free.